it would be wrong of me to suggest that I don't think the Pacers are a good basketball team. I think they're a very talented basketball team. And obviously taking it to one of the best teams in the NBA, going up 2-0. Yeah, that game was close the other night, and the first quarter was terrible. I mean, you went down 17 immediately, but two guys in 20-point scoring. You had six guys in double figures altogether. You nearly had four guys with 20-plus points that night. But
ridiculous.
There's something about the Pacers team this year that tells me that they might be the team of destiny. They just might. I really can't put my finger on it, but with Tyrese Halliburton leading the charge, they all rally around him. Miles Turner holds it down low. He can put up 20 and 10 on any given night. The other night he had 23 and 8. Halliburton, obviously, he didn't lead the way in scoring game 2, but he's your number one option. He's your number one guy. Aaron Nesmith, he seems to just have games where he can shoot the lights out of the ball. Like he'll go couple games in a row being a role player, and then every third or fourth game he'll go 60% from the field, 50 from 3, and he'll put 25 points on your noggin. So this Pacers team, it's unpredictable who that top scorer is going to be every single night, and that's what makes them so hard to guard and play defense against, is because your focus is always going to be on Halliburton and Miles Turner, but every given night there's going to be someone on that team that just takes it to you, and they're almost impossible to guard. They're almost impossible to guard. They're a very well-rounded team, arguably the most well-rounded team left in the playoffs.
To piggyback off that, the Golden State Warriors went into Minnesota, stunned AE and the Wolves. Bad news, though. Steph Curry did not return after injuring his hamstring. He has been ruled out for Game 2, sadly. But Indiana Pacers stunned the Cavs in Game 2 from being down double digits in the fourth just to lose with seconds remaining. From Mr. So-called irrelevant Halliburton hits a 3. So we got a clip of it. You got something to say before we play the clip?
I got to hate for a second. The Sacramento Kings, you are the worst organization in the NBA.
In professional sports.
You had De'Aaron Fox and Halliburton.
It is unbelievable that you traded for Domantas Sabonis, who has done nothing, absolutely nothing, took the Warriors to 7 and lost. And that's why he doesn't get voted as an all-star every year, because he's so overrated, in my opinion. So
that's someone that's overrated.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's my Lithuanian king right there. All right, you watch it, but
stop it.
He's not the worst player in basketball. He's certainly not a number one option.
He's overrated.
He's certainly not a number one option.
He's a top 3 overrated player in the league.
He leads the league, and he's led the league in rebounds per game the last 3 seasons in a row: 13, 13, and 14.
What does that translate to?
That's exactly what I was about to say. Like we got to hold the same accountability like we did with Angel Reese, though. We got to hold the same.
That is true. But I mean, even that though, this year he's shooting 60% from the field. He had a near career high in 3-point percentage, and if you look at his 3-point usage rate, like his career high in threes, when he was shooting like 0.2 threes a game was 50%. Now he's taking 2.5 threes per game, and he's shooting 40% from beyond the arc, and still averaging 20 points a game. He's obviously not a number one option, and the Kings are dumb for trading their number one option in De'Aaron Fox. And I mean, hindsight's 2020. They're stupid for trading Tyrese Halliburton too. But Domantas Sabonis, to say he's a slouch or something like that, that's a little.
Say that. I'd say it's overrated.
It's a slouch. It's just that when it comes to winning time, I'm not gonna say he folds, but I'm just gonna say like the impact is not as great.
Oh, he's not clutch. He's not clutch. He's not a number one option, but he certainly isn't like he's certainly not the worst number 2 available. But when you have a team built like the Kings, where you had De'Aaron Fox, and now you're kind of stuck around with, I mean, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Sabonis. LaVine's going to be your number one option, but you don't really need Sabonis to be that clutch player. You don't need him to have that clutch factor. He's holding it down in the paint, plays good defense. He was getting DPOY votes last year, all-star 2 years ago, still dropping 20 and 13, 20 and 14 a game. I mean, that's all you can really ask for out of Sabonis, and he achieves that.
But it doesn't, like, there's certain players in the league that just they aren't winners to me, bro. And he's one of them. He gets all these stats, which is great. He's filling up the stat sheet for himself, but it doesn't translate to anything. I know that's not all on him because the organization is horrible, but if you're a star player on the team, if you're considered the best on your team, it should translate to something, especially when you've been to the playoffs in the past like 3 years. I think that should translate to a playing team, to getting into the playoffs as a 7 seed. You don't have to win first round all the time, but at least making it with that big of a caliber of a player. So it just, to me, before we get into that clip, I just wanted to hate a little bit and say the Kings are bad, but I do think Sabonis is one of the most overrated players in the league. I have to come up with my top 3, and I'll bring it back tomorrow, but he's definitely 3 for me.
All right, so we can play that clip, and then we have 2 angles of the clip as well.
Know you're going to get fouled. If you're the cat, your guys have got to do a much better job of getting open.
Misses Halliburton the rebound. 9 seconds. They do have a timeout. Carlisle's going to let him play. Halliburton steps back and hits. Tyrese Halliburton trying to take Cleveland's heart. And it is over. The Indiana Pacers.
That's just unbelievable. He's an unbelievable talent.
I'll never understand the overrated chance. Like I don't get it. Why do people consider him the most overrated player in the league? Like, why do players think that? I didn't.
Because he's not.
For the same reasons you
He's not
consider
flashy.
Domantas Sabonis overrated.
Dumb.
It's just irrational hate. It's just irrational.
It is
hate.
not the same though. This guy makes
no,
points
it's not.
every
I'll
year.
give you that. It's not the same. It's one of the best players in basketball versus Domantas Sabonis.
Let me
I
tell you
get that.
that.
It's
Let me
like
tell you
a hydrogen bomb. It's hydrogen bomb
about.
versus coughing baby all over again. But
No, yeah.
it's for the same reason though. It's irrational.
I can tell you why. He's not one of those flashy superstars that you see in like AE.
He kind of is
LeBron
flashy
was.
though.
He's definitely flashy.
He's definitely
But
flashy.
he facilitates and wins through passing. When you look at Anthony Edwards, when you look at LeBron James, when you look at Steph Curry, when you look at Luka, what happens? Their offensive bag is insane. They love to showcase the scoring. But when it comes down to winning time, they want you to rather take the shot than pass it. Well, Tyrese Halliburton is going to either choose one of the two. He's going to pass it maybe, or he's going to take the shot. They don't like how he doesn't talk his talk. He doesn't walk the way. He doesn't go like, he's being carried by people. That's what people be saying. It's like, it's absolutely, he's getting unrational hate, and it's ridiculous. That's why.
I think he is flashy though. You see him on.
It's like Tatum. Why does Tatum get so much hate?
Because he's look at how he's playing right now.
But we can't say that though, because he won a ring. But when they won the ring, what are we gonna say about Tatum's legacy? Oh well, that ring, he ain't played nobody. He ain't do it. Why are they hating?
That's what they try and say about. That's what they try and say about Giannis's ring too with the Bucks.
Who did he go through?
Yep, exactly. Like he
like,
went through a real kind of rough Heat team that they swept. Then they had to go through KD, but everyone's gonna say, "Oh, but KD's foot was on the line."
Yeah,
if it wasn't on the line. They're done. Like it's a big what if, but they still won the freaking championship.
Oh, Jason Tatum is considered the best player on his team, but didn't win either MVP awards in the playoffs. That's why he gets so much hate. But
that is fair.
That's more understandable than Tyrese Halliburton. He's the best player on his team, and they didn't help him out last year against the best team in the NBA.
And that's why he doesn't play for New York. Yeah. He doesn't play for LA. He doesn't play for Chicago.
Why do you think they're pushing Giannis out of Milwaukee?
Right.
I get the same thing with Tyrese Halliburton.
But the Pacers have a history of somewhat winning more than the Bucks. The Pacers aren't like a winning organization, but they've been to the playoffs before and made some noise.
It's a small team. It's a small city. They don't get a whole lot of viewership unless they are actually winning. And now that they started winning, okay, now he's overrated. Oh, he does this, he does that. Oh, he passes well. He doesn't score a bunch. Sometimes he has like 10 points, but he has 13, 14 assists. Oh, it's not a flashy stat line. That's why he's getting hate.
It's like he's the token star of the league where you're excited for him when the team's bad. And then as soon as he starts taking over just a little bit, it's like, hey, dude, settle back down. You're back down here, all right? Like go back to where you belong, basically.
Yeah.
In terms of like NBA hierarchy, like go back towards the basement of the league. And no, like you gave him the opportunity to be a star, to bud and shine with the Pacers, be that number one option, and like utilize his play style You brought in the coaches. You built the personnel around him with Pascal Siakam. You kept Miles Turner around when he could have easily walked away, and he might still walk away this offseason. Who knows? You built up the team around him to really, what's the word I'm looking for? To optimize Tyrese Halliburton's style of play. You built the team around him, and now it's coming to fruition. And now is when people try and say that, oh, he's a product of the system. He's a product of his teammates. That's the whole point. That's literally the whole point, is to build a team around your star so that they become the best player they can possibly be. Look at the Cavs with Donovan Mitchell. They built that team up first and then added Donovan Mitchell as the final piece. And look how great they are. Look how great Donovan Mitchell is, right? He was still great with the Jazz, but he goes to Cleveland, which for NBA terms is a big market. For NBA terms, because of LeBron James' impact, it is a big market in the NBA. Goes to Cleveland, and that's why he's not getting hate. He's in a larger market than Indiana.
Yeah.
But they built that team for him. They built that team to put Donovan Mitchell right at the top. He was the cherry on top. And now they're one of, if not the best team in basketball. Same thing here with the Pacers. They're trying to be that. And people are giving them a lot of crap for it, even though they really completed the rebuild the right way.
And for all the people hating on Halliburton or talking down on him, here's the stat: 1997 and 98. Since then, teams are 3,164, 1,000. They're 3 and 1,640 when trailing by 7+ points in the final minute of the fourth quarter or OT in the playoffs. The Pacers have 2 out of those 3 wins in the last 8 days.
Pretty sure Doc Rivers is the coach in all 3 of those wins too, the opposing coach. I'm almost certain that he is. I'm or actually in 2 of the 3. I'm pretty sure Doc is 2 of those 3 games, because obviously the one with the Cavs. But Doc Rivers was obviously the second one, and I'm pretty sure that first situation, I'd have to fact check it, but I saw somewhere the other day that Doc Rivers was the coach in that first win of those 3 wins to 1,000+ losses.
Sounds about right.
Just insane to think about. But
and for the Warriors,
hold on. Before we get to that,
to look at the Warriors and T-Wolves, they're without Steph Curry now.
Who cares? Jimmy Butler, we got it. We're good. We're good on
the Wolves.
On the right side.
The Wolves has shot 12 for 76 from 3-point range in the last 2 games.
They'll take tonight. I think they'll take tonight.
Game 1, which was 2 days ago, which was on, what was that, Tuesday, and then when they played Game 5, I believe, Game 5 in LA. Since then, those 2 games, they're 12 of 76. That's 15.7%.
Sam, you're about to see 1997 Jordan, as in Jimmy Butler, versus 1983 Michael Jordan and Ant go at each other for the next 3-4 games.
Oh yeah.
So
it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome.
No Steph Curry, no excuse. I mean, there's an excuse there. Yeah. I think it's a Mickey win if Ant gets it, because Steph isn't playing. Obviously, he was destroying them when he was healthy. Those 13 points.
There's only
so fast.
Yeah, there's only so much that a 36 or 37-year-old Mike Conley can do defensively against
he was getting
against a guy like Stephen Curry, who Stephen Curry is to me, he's like the Justin Verlander of the NBA. He's only getting better with age, right?
Yeah, so exactly.
But I think that I still have the Timberwolves winning this series, period. I think I had it from the jump too. They're not going to shoot that poorly.
No, they're not. That's what I said.
Every single game.
Right.
And I don't even think that. Oh, let me see if I can find it. ESPN's not very good at putting up teams. Oh, here they are, down at the bottom. They're not going to shoot 17% from 3 again. And at one point, I'm pretty sure they're in the single digit shooting percentage from 3 in that game. They're not going to keep 7%. Doing that. They have what? They had 31 points at half. Yeah, sign me up for a Timberwolves win tonight. It's an embarrassing loss. That's something that the locker room will turn around from. I don't see this series going to the Warriors. I think the Timberwolves they'll take tonight, like we both agreed on. As long as the Timberwolves can win one in Golden State, one of games 3 or 4, if they keep it at 2-2, That's their best chance of winning, and I think that's what will happen, is they will keep it at 2-2, win Game 5, put a ton of pressure on the Warriors, and all it takes is a little bit of pressure and a little bit of Anthony Edwards getting in your face for you to start falling apart at the seams. So I honestly, and I talked with a lot of people about this too, I personally like the Timberwolves to make it out of the West still. I still like them to make it out of the West. I think the reason they wouldn't is if Denver beats OKC, which after last night, I don't think that's happening.
Okay.
But I think,
well, how about
the Timberwolves.
This? Hold on.
We got, 7 games so far throughout all of the second round series? How about 6 games of them being a road team's wins?
Listen.
OKC was the first team to win at home.
And
everybody else is up 2-0.
They beat the snot out of them too.
Destroyed them.
If my math checks out, they had 8 double-digit scorers. Like guys like AJ Mitchell, Aaron Wiggins, and Isaiah Joe each put up double digits. Like, are we serious right now?
Bro,
are we serious?
That's the deep team, bro. That's the deepest team in the NBA. They are going to be able to do that the next few games, and as long as they stay efficient. Now, get back to the Warriors and Timberwolves. I'll tell you why the Warriors still have a great chance. You said Anthony Edwards gets in your face, gets in your head. Do you know who their top 2 players are now that Steph Curry's out? Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green. There is no one on this planet.
The definition.
Draymond Green. When I tell you, let me tell you something. Rudy Gobert.
That's some franchise history. 31 points allowed in the first half, fewest in the shot clock era ever by Golden State.
Rudy Gobert is the center of the Timberwolves. He is terrified of Draymond Green, and you can tell when they play against each other. Do you think Draymond Green has any inch of scare in his mind when Rudy Gobert steps on the court? Absolutely not. Do you think Jimmy Butler is scared of Anthony Edwards? No, not very much. But when Anthony Edwards gets hot, obviously it's going to be a little tense. But if we're talking about Jimmy Butler here, probably I think a very good chance of being in the Hall of Fame, even though he hasn't gotten many accolades.
He will. He'll make it.
The Hall.
So I think
Draymond
those two leading the home, as long as Draymond Green is healthy, facilitating that offense, as long as Pods decides to stay playing great defense and rebounding and being that good control on the perimeter on the offensive side, as long as Buddy Hield continues to play like 2016 Stephen Curry for some reason, and then you got Jonathan Kuminga still on the bench, who Steve Kerr doesn't get along with for some reason, and he's still a great talent. Now he's going to get more minutes. They still have a great chance. They have a great cast of players around Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green, enough to win this game. Now, Julius Randle is the issue for me. If Julius Randle decides to turn up and be the Julius Randle that we know offensively, I think the Timberwolves will take this series. But I don't think that's going to be the case, because as long as those two are healthy, as long as someone is great at defense playing on Jimmy Butler or on Julius Randle, they're gonna struggle making these shots. You saw it the other day. Julius Randle was one of the only players actually making shots, but everyone else is not, even including Ant. So as long as they continue to do stuff like that, which I don't think it won't happen every game, but the games that matter, like tonight, if they take tonight, you have to understand we're talking about the Knicks and Celtics doing the same thing. The Knicks, they have a great chance of closing this series out next game. And guess where they have to go after tonight? They have to go back to Golden State. So it's going to be very difficult for me to say. I think we just have to wait till tonight. Okay.
Yeah. Well, we got to wait to see what happens tonight. I mean, Draymond Green joins LeBron James and Hakeem Olajuwon as only players in NBA history to rank in the top 25 all time in playoff steals, rebounds, and blocks. So when it comes down to defense, he's one of the bar. He's one of the bars to defense.
He's a Hall of Famer, a purified Hall of Famer. He's going to lead this team if he has to. He's now the leader. Okay, and that's crazy to say when Jimmy Butler's on your team, but Jimmy Butler wants to be a facilitator as well, and I think they're gonna have to get this Michael Jordan side out of him and for him to score 40 again and get back to that Jimmy Butler, because that's exactly what we need now. Okay, as Steph Curry fan, we need him to help out Curry while he's out. So that's my opinion. I think they still have GP2 playing. He's such an athletic player, dude. I don't know what's wrong.
He's very underrated.
He's insane. So you can put him on anybody to guard. I mean, it's gonna be tough because he's a little undersized, but he's still a great athletic player. So
fighting in the rebounds.
His name is Gary Payton. So
it is true. That is true.
So I mean, look, I still got Warriors. After the other night, it's going to be very tough for me not to get off that Warriors train.
It'll be a dogfight.
So I got Warriors in 6 though, man. I'm gonna be honest. And then if the Wolves do win and they play the Thunder, I think it's sad. I don't think anybody can really mess with them right now. The best team in the league right now.
Well, the Warriors do have great defense, and it's
true.
showing that
It's true.
The Timberwolves were really a high electric offense too. So the defense does win championships. Y'all
Sam,
go back and forth for that.
Wait, Sam, wait. Are you sure defense doesn't win championships? Are you?
I don't know. It's kind of hard to beat a team that puts up 149 points.
Oh my goodness.
We can do that as final thoughts.